Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. So we are making this beautiful Basque effect um, dress with a keyhole. So I have my fabric here and I also folded the upper part. I'll be using a light scuba material for this. So I check the right side of my dress, making sure everything is intact, and the fabric is folded into two, and I'll be choking on the wrong side of my fabric. So I'm trying to make sure everything is well placed because I'm the only one doing the recording. So guys, after putting my fabric into the I went ahead to measure from that starting point automatically that's my shoulder. Then I measure down to my armhole. So to know the armhole length is going to be your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So I measured my underbust, my waistline, and from there I came down by 7 inches for my backs. So that is how much I want the back to be. So to the length of my dress, the total length is 34. So I measured down to the length and I removed 10 inches for the one I'll be cutting on the length. So that means the length I have here is 24. So the gathered part is going to complete it to be 34. So on the shoulder line, I came down by 0.5 for my shoulder slope. So it's 0.75. Then I divide what I have there at the midpoint and I came in by half an inch. So at this point, I'm measuring my bust circumference. So I'll be able to curve my arm up. So I also went ahead to add my sewing allowance. So I'll make sure these 3 points are touching each other like this. From the shoulder slope to that midpoint and back to my bust circumference. So that is my armhole and I am done with that. So I'll come to the neckline to take for the back neckline. I would like to do 2 inches. So this is the front part. I am making 3.5 inches for the neck, while the width is about 3.5 also. So I'll connect it together this way. So the next thing I will do is to start taking my body circumference. So quarter of my bust circumference plus my waist plus my sewing allowance, sorry guys. So I went ahead to measure my under bust, quarter of my under bust circumference plus my sewing allowance. So I also repeat the same thing for my waist. My waist circumference divided by 2 plus my allowance. So because this is a stretchy material, I'm not going to be adding like that to this. So guys, on the hip I also increased my hip circumference plus allowance. So on this hip part I came down by 2 inches. Yes, 2 inches. Then I removed my my sewing allowance. So I'm just going to be connecting it from that hip point. You know, I came down by 6 inches. So that is how I got my basque effect. So on the hip point, I came down by 6 inches. So on the hip point on the sewing and the seam allowance, I also come down by 2 inches and I connected it like this. So what I have all together here is my full length. Sorry, my length. So I'll be adding 10 inches extra to complete the full length of the dress, and I'll gather it all around it. So I am done I am done with the front part. So I went ahead to fold another fabric, and here is the back part this time. So I have my zip allowance of about 1.5 inches. So I came down at the midpoint 5 inches and the upper part 5 inches. So I'm just going to be doing this so I can eliminate some bulginess around the zip side. So I'll connect it back to the 5 inches and measure from the waistline downward like this. So this is just to eliminate some excesses around the zipper side. So I'll follow the same shape like this and I'll cut it. So if you cut directly all through to the sewing allowance, you will not like it. Okay, that's why you need to remove the sewing allowance before you connect it. So after shipping it in, there's this um, there's this effect you get if you do it that way. So I went ahead to cut my neckline. I cut out for the back neckline and the front neckline, and I also open up the zipper side. So I'll keep this aside. Then I'll cut out the that I'll be using. So what I did was I measured around what I have for both front and back on the back area. So what I have, I am going to be multiplying it by about 2.5 or 3 inches. So depending on the number of fabric, depending on the excess fabric you have. If you have plenty fabric, you can go ahead and multiply by 4 or 5. So for mine, I did 3 times. So I multiply it by 3 to get what I want. So I'm just going to be measuring the length by 3 places. So the length I'm working with is 10. So I added 1 inch for my sewing allowance and also a half inch for joining and to hem it. So for the neck part here, I forgot to finish the neck part, so I have to bring it back. From the neck part, I will come down to around the 7 inches. So that is where the keyhole is going to be. So from the front neckline, I also come down by 2 inches. So I'm just going to be drawing something that looks like a shape here, like an oval shape. The oval, no, like love shape, yes, like a love shape. So from that point, I came in by 2 inches. Then I connect it like this. It's more like love, kind of. At the same time, it's looking like apple. I don't know. The shape, just go ahead and do what works for you. You can try to do any shape of your choice. So I'll just cut it out like so. So let me check what I have. If it is too small, then I can increase it. So what I have here, the shape did not really come out the way I wanted this down part. So I'll just go ahead and reshape it a little bit more. So guys, please, I'll advise don't cut too much. Don't forget this is a stretching material. So mine was a little bit too down at the end of the day. So I'll advise you cut, by the time you finish sewing it, it might tend to be stretchy and to just expand and I don't know. So please, while cutting it, consider your fabric if it is stretchy. So guys, at the end of the day, I think I am satisfied with what I have here. So this is it. So what I'll do next is to cut facing for my dress. So I'm going to cut facing for this. So for the front part, this is what I did. I cut facing for only that keyhole part. Yes, I did not cut facing for the neck part because I'll be using a bias tape to finish up the neckline. So I'm just cutting facing for only the um keyhole part. But the way I cut it in such a way that it will cover up for the neck and also the keyhole part, then a little bit extension downward so it will not come out while you wear it. But another thing you can do is to just use your hemming gum to hold it in place so it will not come out or flip around. So this is what I have here. You can see the neck part also have the lining part, but I'm not going to be turning because I'll be using bias tape to do this. So I've gone ahead to sew it down just at the keyhole. You can see the way it is. It has this here, you see it reaches the neck part, but I am not going to be turning it. So I'll just go ahead and turn it inside like so. Then I'll give it a good press. The pulley is kind of, I don't know, strong, so I have to sprinkle water a little bit. So guys, if you have watched up to this point, please, I have found this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. Please support by subscribing. Thank you. So I've gone ahead to iron it down. So I'll be using my hemming gum to keep this in place like so. So you just cut it. You use your iron to hold it down. So by doing this, it will prevent your fabric from coming out when you wear your dress. So guys, just take your time and iron it out. So I am done ironing and this is what my neckline looks like. It came out really nice and fine. So I'll just go ahead and finish up the neckline with my bias tape. So for the back part, you can decide to also use your bias tape or you cut a facing for it. So I have gone ahead to finish up the neckline and I am ready to shape my dress. So I'll just shape it to the body size and I'll take it to my sewing machine, then join it, then I'll come back and show you what I have left. So I measure my exact bust circumference, my hip circumference, my waist circumference, then I connect all these lines together like this. So I'm going to be repeating the same thing for the back part. So guys, I always like to add my zip first before I shape. So I'll mark out my zipper side, for my zipper around. So from there I measure the shape of. So I've gone ahead to add my zipper and I've shaped it. So guys, so so remember what I said earlier. You are going to measure around the Basque area and use it to cut the gathered effect here. So you multiply it by 3 or 2.5, or you can multiply it by 2, depending on the number of fabric you have. If you have excess fabric, you can go ahead and multiply by 4. So what I have here, I will just cut it out, which I have done. So I'm going to be gathering it around the face area. So you can just decide to pleat it like this directly, or you first of all take it to your machine and draw a gather, then you then place it also. So if there's need for you to trim your arm, or you go ahead and do that. And I've gone ahead to cut my sleeve. So I have a detailed tutorial on how to cut the sleeve. So you can just go ahead and check this out. And I'm going to be adding an elastic to the tip of my sleeve. So guys, we are done, and this is what my dress looks like. Hope to see you in my next video. Bye.